What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, taking a look at the new Horus cards. Not in my hand yet, but you will see them here in a second. The archetype itself is insane. It's basically like pre-Master Rule, like Pendulum summoning before they changed it. Basically just get to bring everything back. Now, instead of the face-up extra deck, it's just the graveyard. It's kind of the best way I can describe it. And the way that I kind of broke it down was, well, theoretically, at its core, all it is like an infinite tribute summon engine. At least that's what I'm using it for, and you'll see, I think there's much more better applications, just any normal deck for these cards, but they do work really, really well in Monarch, right? 2 tributes every single turn, and it works kind of well with the Eldlich engine, being that you can just, grab Eldlich back to your hand every single turn, pretty much. And then you have those 2 tribute summons, so you don't really have to top deck, some sort of big level monster. So one kind of always accessible. And obviously, when you get the lock done, no matter what deck, modern or old, if you have the Monarchs Erupt and Domain on the board, 90% of the time, that's going to be enough to just make your opponent scoop. Unless they're playing Twin Twisters or something. But Spell and Trap hate is not super common right now. So this is against Exosister. I think this one's pretty straightforward. It's well, first of all, this is for the tribute fodder. Really cool. Also, you can discard something like Pantheism. The 2 archetypes, it's they do mix, There is a little bit of synergy there. And it actually also lets you draw a card. This card's insane. So, in this version of it, I only play 2 of the main deck monster. This one searches out the continuous spell, and this is just a monster that can be tribute summoned. I don't know if I do have a replay, showcasing me doing it, but I have done it before, where I do use this as the tribute summon. Right, they're just high level monsters. This guy's the best stats of all of them. One of them has 0 attack. Okay, there's DD Crow, so that's fine. Not too big of a deal. I could play more names, but they are kind of bricks in the hand. You really just want to see this card. If you ever see the other one, it's just it's kind of bad. But Fenrir is basically a Monarch card too. It is a free special summon plus it searches another copy, so all you have to do is find one more body for a tribute summon. Obviously, very good. And then Exosister, this is crazy, especially if you tribute summon Fenrir and just have that interruption, something that Monarchs just literally don't have. Interruption during your opponent's turn. Every single time those come back, right? And Fenrir searched a copy of itself, so you can get 2 tribute summon Fenrir. So if they get rid of one, you might still have the other one up for the domain lock, which is obviously pretty good. This is against Generator. Some of these probably won't have the Horus cards in there, but most of them do. This is a pretty good opening when it comes to draws. Now, if my opponent had Ash, it'd just be terrible, but sometimes your opponent doesn't have it. Well, actually, there you go. Most of these replays do have these cards because they are basically what win me so many games. So much good discard fodder, and that's kind of why I kept Eldlich in there too. It's one of the only spells and traps I can think of that are good being sent to the graveyard. In this case, I tribute summon Eldlich, which is pretty nice, right? This is a searchable tribute summonable monster as well, and even if your opponent does have kaijus, which seem to be really popular right now, Monarchs Erupt is crazy. It lasts until your turn, even if the opponent, even if your monster leaves the field. Very, very cool. I can go ahead and probably tribute summon again, right? Just bring these back, and like I said, that's why this Eldlich engine is so good when it comes to Monarchs. I'm not going to be breaking anything, it's all the Monarchs Erupt won't die because I don't have a tribute summonable monster. Otherwise, I wouldn't if I was just playing regular Monarchs. So I think that's pretty neat. Yeah, you can push for game really easily. The Horus cards just basically are just game ending. Once that gets into loop, you're in a really good spot. Obviously, the weakness is going second, but it's actually not as bad as you might think it is. You'll see, you can play usually through a couple interruptions, 3 almost never, but sometimes if you have the right hand, you can play through 2. Some really good tech cards you can also side in going second. I don't remember the name. It's Karakuri or something. The one if your opponent's monsters activated their effects, you can tribute them and the special summon. That obviously will be good because it's a free tributable body. It's good going second. Change of Heart is really good in this deck. And here in this case, you can see this card's kind of bad. Now, if you get the other Horus card, it's actually a really good discard because then you don't have to send anything, from your deck to the graveyard with the continuous spell. Again, just the way that I play it, I only play 2 main deck monsters, but... Okay, so again, not really like a super assuming board. This is an Omni Negate, which I guess is pretty cool. And I think he also has Ash. Okay, so Fenrir is just a free special summon, like no harm, no foul. And like I said, there goes the Ash for the Illusion. And then both of those are now in the graveyard. I can bring them back. And then probably just like, normal summon, or tribute summon, I should say, the Vanity's Ruler. And these 2 are going to come back next turn, unless my opponent gets rid of them. Which is very hard to do, right, when you can't special summon and you can't even go into the extra deck. Now, I did have a cool little out here. It was a Purple Poison Magician, so he's going to be able to pop that card. But he did waste a lot of resources. He only is going to be able to Pendulum summon twice. I guess it doesn't have any targets. Kind of weird for Harmonizing Magician, but... Yeah, you can't, Synchro Summon. I thought I was going to go into Baron, and I was like, that's really bad. But this can only Synchro Summon or do other extra deck plays with other Pendulum Magician monsters. I top deck Fenrir, that's obviously, super duper good. I only play 2 Fenrir, I guess you could play 3. That's why I didn't start by special summoning this and searching another copy. These 2 are great together, especially in the battle phase. This card's insane. It doesn't just give you free pendulum summoning like I've been talking about. It's also a really good when it comes to battle. These guys can't be destroyed by card effects unless it targets. Kind of like Underworld, very interesting restriction. But if you have monsters that you can't destroy by battle, this is a great way to do it. And then obviously Fenrir, when it attacks, it just gets rid of face-up cards, which is just so much versatility. I got rid of his pendulum scales, meaning you can't really pendulum summon anymore. These 2 come back, and you can even bring them back the same name, as long as it's on different turns, which is really incredible. So really, they're I don't know, in the way I play this, there's really no reason to play any other names, because you can just keep doing it. This was a really interesting duel. It's an old school style where you do have to think about it. You could lose if you don't play it right. So Pot of Extravagance, you already know something's weird. Thought it was Labyrinth, and then I saw him set a card, and I'm pretty sure Labyrinth doesn't set cards. Starts by a skill drain, summon limit. Okay, I probably want to get rid of that skill drain. It's actually kind of bad. Definitely need monster effects. Discarding Sanguine, so pretty cool. And I'm going to be able to, probably draw 1 card, getting rid of Cursed Elven, which is giving me more advantage. And now I have, a pop, I have an Omni Negate, and then, Scarlet can bring that back. Okay, he's going to go for just a normal monster. I think this is just, one of those stun normal monster beatdown decks. But there are a lot of floodgates, so I kind of have to play this smart. And you'll see here in a second what else he's playing. Magician's Souls again, and yeah, it's so cool that Magician's Souls can send Horus. Very neat. He went for Torrential Tribute, and I thought maybe I should go for it, but I don't know. It's I don't really need to lock him out of his extra deck, and I don't even know how good Monarchs Erupt is, to be completely honest. Yeah, Dimensional Wall, it's basically Magical Cylinder. It's pretty much the same thing. It's almost no different, but okay. I think he... found another one off the top with, Backjack. He did go for Goes and Match, and that's something I definitely needed to stop. So instead of, doing that on the Torrential Tribute, I thought, well, it's fine. I'm obviously not in a rush at all. I do know that one of them is Dimensional Wall, and I kind of do want to play it safe. I feel like eventually I'm going to have to trigger it, but you never know what else he has. Maybe a burn card. So I don't want to put my life points too low. I'd rather just wait and kind of push for game. Yeah, but every single time I get a spell card off the top, I do get the opportunity to kind of do something like that. And there's Magical Cylinder, and then he did also have Evenly Matched. I had another copy of Fenrir in my hand that I searched, so nothing really changed. I do keep this around. I guess you never know if he has, one of those, set cards that can't be destroyed by battle or something, and I just don't want to be stuck there. I can go ahead and do that for Pantheism. I don't think he has any other spells and traps right now, but he did activate the... time tearing thing, and that lets you draw 2 cards for your draw phase instead of your normal draw. So I was I kind of wanted to push for game, but I don't think there was anything I could do. I kind of just have to play this smart. So what I really want to do is get out the other Monarch, right? And then it'll bounce back to my hand at the end, and then I can normal summon it, and then shuffle back maybe one of these trap cards that he has. But the only thing I'm literally running low on resources. I only have 2 left in the deck, 2 Monarch spells and traps. So of these 10 cards, and it's crazy, I did not see one Horus card this entire game. Like, statistically, I feel like it's almost impossible, but the only card that I can't draw off the top is one of my Monarch spells and traps, right? Because I have to use the effect to shuffle something back to deal with the immediate problem. And then look at this. Yeah, it is unfortunate, but I can use Eldlich effect here, getting rid of that back. It is Magic Cylinder, so I have to be like really careful. And I think off of the Pot of Duality, he did get Backjack. So the only thing I have to worry about is just like a spell and trap that immediately answers. I'll know what it is. So if it's another Magic Cylinder, I'll have to like figure something out, just like use Eldlich again. But he ended up scooping. I just thought that was kind of a interesting duel. And this is against Tierlaments. Kind of a weird opening, but that's where Magician Souls comes in to kind of fix it and actually makes this like kind of good. You know, being able to send this to the graveyard. I can't wait for a good Monarch trap to replace this. This card isn't terrible, but it's also like not very good. Yeah, so these getting milled is like, it's great. If I just get one copy of Sarcophagus, then I can basically just, you know, bring these guys out every turn. So a lot of setup. He also did send Scarlet, and then Conquistador is also in the graveyard. So that's kind of cool. Like, I'm able to, you know, take advantage of the fact that he's milling cards. Most decks, you know, don't usually. Yeah, end phase Conquistador can set, and I can go for Scarlet. I'm pretty sure the Horus cards come up pretty early on. Okay, so there we go. I want to like bait out like maybe like an Imperm or something. So we'll see what ends up happening. I'm going to go ahead and do Scarlet. This does lock you out of special summoning except zombie monsters, but I won't be summoning, you know, special summoning anymore. Erebus is just going to be normal summoned. He does set that, which is fine. Doesn't really do anything. And then he sends back whatever that spell card was. Okay, and there we go. I now have the Sarcophagus engine going. And then I shuffled something back. You know, thinking back on it, especially because I ended up searching Monarchs Erupt, I really should have shuffled back something back here. And then even if he does, like, you know, get over Erebus, I have like I have a way to like tribute summon next turn, like very easily with Fenrir. So probably not the best, you know, play there by me, but it is what it is. Because he can just like go back into it. But he does have a shuffler. I think he sends back Eldlich, which really doesn't matter. Again, I'm just going to like... The Eldlich engine is just kind of self-sustaining at some point. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get over his Kashtira. Monarchs Erupt is going to last the entire turn, but he does have the immediate answer in Heartbeat. I don't know why he's playing Rescue Ace cards, but the main of this, I guess, is Tierlaments. I don't really know how it all comes together, but okay. Yeah, and then just like Fenrir can search Fenrir. He's going to negate the effects of that, bring something back. I think he's going to shuffle again. But I have like basically all the setup in the graveyard from all that milling that he did. Scarlet can go for Conquistador. He's going to shuffle back. He actually doesn't shuffle back the Prime Monarch, which I was kind of surprised by. Because I'm just going to go ahead and Tribute Summon. And then, like, yeah, I have like damage on board with another Tribute Summon with like Dark Simorg and stuff. So that was pretty nice. But yeah, that is a look at the Horus cards, or Monarch Eldlich more specifically. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Other than that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.